My father was a great musician and producer and manager. And that basically, I think, gave me some kind of basic talent and interest in music, but it also gave me all the fears I had, because the only thing he was sure about was that I should never get into show business whatsoever. I should never do music professionally, because it's a field of interest and of arts that is really that should be occupied by absolutely exceptional personalities that are one of a kind. So I used to be a very serious person until the age of about 21, 22. Even though my father was the head of one of the biggest French rock clubs called Gibus, so maybe French Parisians will know. And then when I did finish my second university degree, my second master's degree, it was the first moment of my life I just somehow allowed myself getting back to the dreams I used to have as a child. And meeting him was the biggest trigger, because, I mean, it was easier for you because it was the only thing you could have done, right?
Yeah.
But you pushed me to trying it, at least. So I did try it, and it feels funny talking about it 10 years later.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was way easier because I was born to a family that has nothing to do with arts in general. Well, in general, not specifically, not generally. I'm coming from a family that has nothing to do with this world. I'm coming from a family of doctors and serious occupations. I was good at painting, and I wasn't good at singing. I'm still not good at singing. But for me, it was sure that I'm gonna be in arts because there was nothing else I could do. At least that's what my family thought, and that's what I thought. So I started with acting, and then I came to I came back from Israel to the Czech Republic with quite a clear vision of being an actor. And that happened. Actually, I did study. Acting,
Yeah, you did.
Right?
You even finished your studies.
At the Academy of Dramatic Arts. I just I'm not the type to get a lot of roles with this face in the Czech Republic. So then I was I guess I was quite lost for a while. And then I started doing all the other stuff. I started doing directing, which I still do. I started doing more music. And then actually and I had a band that wasn't successful at all, but it was great. And I think it was during the recordings of your album when I got into the process of composing pop music, trying to be part of this songwriting. And then my voice stayed as a sample on one of your songs. And that was for me, that was for everyone. The first time I was actually signed, as an artist, my name was included in a song as a singing person.
The song's called No Fire, if anyone's interested.
And then some first reactions came, and they were supportive. I guess that's where I started to have this, bug in my head saying maybe you can be a singer. And I'm still not sure it's a good decision, but I love it, and I like writing songs. That's the main thing for me, I guess. That specific song is for me some kind of homage to nomads, to people who have decided to leave their hometown for whatever reason, and all the reasons are legitimate, and they have decided to try and heal their broken hearts in somewhere else. That's what it is, basically. We were in Bali. At Bali or in Bali?
Maybe even on Bali, on an island. I don't know.
We were
Maybe
on this island called Bali last year, and it was lockdown all around the world, basically. And at a certain point, we stayed for a longer period, and just when we got to Bali, all the borders were closed. They got closed, and after a while, all the tourists, the normal tourists, left. And at a certain point, after a while, it was only us, the Balinese people, and those people that the song is about, which were all these people from, I don't know, Russia, Poland, Australia, Germany, Czech Republic, who have been in Bali before we came and were about to stay after we would leave. And it was all these nomads, all these people who have decided like that this life that they were living somewhere else in their country, this university they didn't want to study, but they did. These love affairs that didn't go as planned. Those people who broke their heart, those mothers and those fathers who, didn't get to communicate properly. Like all these things, they have decided to leave it behind and just start something new somewhere else, at a place that, couldn't ever be a ground for ambitious life. Like you can never really get, in this hierarchy of like red office, hierarchy. You can never climb, too high when you're on Bali, surfing every morning and eating good food and trying to relax. But there was something else they achieved, and that was like this healing of the heart that I found them healed in a way. A lot of the people that I met there. So it's a song for, and the song itself is basically a love letter from someone who have stayed behind, writing to a girl who have decided to start this new thing somewhere else, from scratch, and the guy is asking like, so. Did you make it? Is your heart healing already? Now when you left everything behind. Aesthetically, I must say, we decided to appear in the same costumes as we have in the music video. That's an approach, it's something. And as to what we did on the stage itself, it was, I guess, more kind of improv.
Yeah, and fact is, we've never really performed in an empty room. So,
yeah, for no one. Like, I don't mean you being no one, but for
yeah. So the approach was to get used to this kind of exercise, actually,
which isn't easy.
Which isn't easy, but we had 5 tries. We should say that. So we got used to it somehow. And I think the editing will do the work. That's the approach. The approach is the editing will save us.
No, actually, the approach is there was something I realized during the takes that we did. It's because I was looking whom to perform for here, if it's the cameras or or the people in the room, and then I think the best take was the one that we sang to each other. So.
I think our superpower lies in the ability to work together, because both of us are much worse musicians when we don't work together. And both of us are slightly happier partners when we don't work together. So the superpower is combining the harmony and the productivity and the level of professionality, because I think Jordan is a fantastic composer, and the color of his voice is really one of a kind. It's something I would dream of, and I would sign any contract with the devil if I
your
could.
Musical ear.
And my musical ear is slightly
it's
better.
So much better. It's so much better.
So, which is why I'm talking about a convenient combination. And then we have another superpower, which is we somehow buried our egos about 2 or 3 years ago.
That's when it became possible to work together, actually. Mm-hmm. It's the same moment, I guess.
I am listening to the last album of Miley Cyrus because she's got a very similar voice to my daughter's, among other reasons. I still haven't ceased listening to AM from the Arctic Monkeys, which I consider the best recording since the Beatles, who for me are the best band ever. And I love Paolo Nutini, but I only knew the singles he's released, like Iron Sky.
Mhm. Ty jsi řekla 3 alba nějaký?
Well, the last Plastic Hearts, Miley Cyrus, AM by the Arctic Monkeys, And 2 singles by Paolo Nutini that I just keep listening to, even though they're not full albums.
It's called Caustic Love.
Yeah, it's on Caustic Love, but I don't really love the rest of the songs. There's just 2. Iron Sky and Let Me Down Easy are the 2. We would really appreciate the opportunity to address our music to new audiences because the Czech market has its limits. We're very happy with the music we're doing, but given the fact we sing in English, because we think that's the language of pop and rock pop and all genres that we actually listen to, it's something that we think would need some kind of export. And myself, I rather feel as a European than a Czech or French girl, even though that's the two nationalities I have, but I've never really felt neither Czech nor French. So as a European, I think we belong on a European stage, at least for a try.
Yeah, well, I agree. Yeah, I guess in the end of the day, it's like we are 2 artists who are doing their best to get their art to the biggest crowd possible, and that's a great way to do it because Eurovision is even though it's a contest, it feels because me growing up in Israel, I know Eurovision I guess better than most of the people in this country, meaning Czech Republic, and it's more than a musical contest. It's a celebration of diversity and all kinds of arts coming from different places, gathering together, being at the same place, and that's the best I can get out of it. Meeting the other artists, listening to them, getting my music to be listened to by other people from other parts of the world, and yeah, that's for me the most meaningful thing about Eurovision. I can't not see it as a director because that's what I am basically, as an artist. I'm the kind of artist who's more than anything director, even though I didn't do a movie yet. But so for me, it's the same fear as directors have that I will be misunderstood in a way that there's some genuine mood that you put into your music, and there is some thought and there is some message you want to give sometimes, not for everyone, but for me, for sure, there is this thing because musically, more than anything, I'm a songwriter. I write lyrics and then I give them melody that will just, deliver the lyrics best way possible. And it's the same fear if I'm in a club in, a small town in the Czech Republic, or if I'm in front of whole Europe or world, if you wish. It's this thing of being wrongly understood or being not understood, yeah, that's it. And it's purely artistic. It's not like if they will not like me, I will be desperate. No, it's like if they will like me for the wrong reasons, I will be as desperate as if they don't like me.
So in me, there's something that is absolutely incapable of believing we could win the national round. There's something so deeply pessimistic.
That's why you're so calm.
Which is maybe why I'm so calm. So my first reaction would be a huge shock. And I think I really would then need a few days or weeks to realize what's going on. And then, if I do allow my stream of consciousness getting to that point, in theory, I would probably realize that it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, because I think all the repeated appearances in this contest seem bizarre. So I don't think it's a thing we would do for a second time at any point. So my biggest fear is that after May, if what we present is below what we would like to show, there could be a series of months or years of deep depression. Being last is not the problem. Being second last and immediately forgotten could be problematic, and being laughed at would be, I think, the worst. Even though no. There was a contestant that we keep laughing at. It's been 3 years now, or 2 or 3 years, and I'm in love with the guy because he's one of the guarantees that in the worst possible mood we can watch his song that he sang in Tel Aviv, and that was just so funny, even though he didn't want it to be, but it was great.